What love is this? A love that would endure betrayal from a friend. A love that would remain faithful when others ran away. A love willing to suffer for sins he did not commit. This is the true story that changed everything. A story of great sin and the price that had to be paid. A story of humanity lost and God making a way to restore us back to Himself. A story of sacrifice, of redemption, and of a love so great that it carried a cross and gave His life to save us. This is the true story of the Crucifixion. The night had come, and Jesus shared the Passover with His disciples. He washed their feet, showing them the way of humble love. He told them that one of them would betray Him, though they did not understand. Judas, one of the 12, left quietly and went to the chief priests, saying, "What will you give me if I deliver him to you?" After the meal, Jesus went with His disciples to the Garden of Gethsemane to pray. He felt deep sorrow and prayed to His Father, asking for the cup to pass if possible. Meanwhile, His disciples fell asleep. Soon a crowd came with swords and clubs, led by Judas, to arrest Him. Peter drew a sword and struck the servant of the high priest, but Jesus said, "No more of this." Jesus was brought before the high priest and the council. They searched for false testimony, but they found none. The high priest demanded, "I adjure you by the living God, tell us if you are the Christ, the Son of God." Jesus answered, "You have said so, but from now on you will see the Son of Man seated at the right hand of power and coming on the clouds of heaven." Peter, waiting outside, denied knowing Jesus 3 times, just as he had predicted. Jesus was brought before Pilate, the Roman governor. Pilate asked, "Are you the king of the Jews?" Jesus replied, "You have said so." The crowd, stirred by the chief priests, demanded that Barabbas be released instead of Jesus. "What then shall I do with Jesus, who is called Christ?" And they shouted, "Crucify him." Jesus was mocked by the soldiers. They clothed him in a scarlet robe, put a crown of thorns on his head, and struck him. Many women followed, weeping as they saw him led away, including Mary Magdalene and his mother. Jesus carried his cross to the place called Golgotha. Simon of Cyrene was compelled to help carry the cross. There he was crucified, with 2 criminals on either side. One mocked him, but the other rebuked the first, saying, "Remember me when you come into your kingdom." Jesus said, "Truly I tell you, today you will be with me in paradise." Jesus prayed, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." The soldiers cast lots for his clothing. Above his head a sign read, "Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews." From noon until 3 in the afternoon, darkness covered the land. Jesus cried with a loud voice, my God, why have you forsaken me?" Then later he said, "It is finished." And he bowed his head and gave up his spirit. At that moment, the veil of the temple was torn from top to bottom. The earth shook, rocks split, and the centurion and those with him said, "Truly, this was the Son of God." Joseph of Arimathea took his body and laid it in a new tomb. Mary Magdalene and the other women watched, sorrowing, unsure of what would come next. This is why Jesus died, to pay the penalty for sin, to reconcile us to God, and to show the depth of His love. How should we respond? With faith, with gratitude, with lives surrendered to Him, because He gave everything for us. God shows His love for us in that, while we were still sinners, Christ died for us.